There's some foam bursting here, so I'll leave that alone. Okay, now the base of the wave itself, as you learned in some of the previous lessons, when I paint in clear water, I do not add any white paint. The white paint can come later, or a little touch of it up in the curl, but basically you want that water to be clean and clear. I'm going to use, in this case, manganese blue and a touch of iridium. This is a light painting. So, there we go. Clean, clear water. And then as it gets further away from the area that would be translucent, it gets darker. I'll add some ultramarine blue. This is a little thin wave. This painting isn't really about a wave like some of the others. This is a painting about reflections and beaches. And then a background swell. Here's another tip. If you're going to have a wave of any sort in your painting, don't go from a flat sea behind all of a sudden to a great big wave. There should be a transition. That's what these swells are. As the energy moves inward, in towards shore, it climbs up the shelf of land under the water. It pushes up and over, creating a breaker. So back here, the swells wouldn't be so large, but they're getting into the shallows in here, and so that makes them rise up. Okay, then we have another secondary little wavelet in here. Just nick it in with ultramarine blue. And there's a corner of the same wave over in here. Do the same thing there. All right. Oh yes, we have another rock to put the edges on our reflection at another time. Okay, next thing is the atmosphere. The atmosphere is very, very light, as you can see. It's a misty, almost fog back in here, some darkish clouds. Up overhead, it will be a little darker. I'll go to manganese blue into white. Call that my atmosphere. Well, let's make it a little darker. Remember, overhead, the sky is always darker anyway. So I'll come back and reflect it onto the foam that rides in front of the wave. If I got a little sand color in it, it doesn't hurt because this is very shallow water at this point. It's not like our big storm wave and our big breakers and so on in deep water. So a little sand color won't hurt it. I'll cut right across the reflection with some of this foam. There you go. Scrub, scrub, as you know. Okay. Now then, just a little bit of foam on the wave. Most of it will be in sunlight, and we'll establish that color a little later. But right now, I'll just put in some white for that little bit of wave foam. And in this area, it will be in shadow. I'll go right back down to this palette mud that you saw. It's really the atmosphere and a little bit of warmth. So it becomes a gray. But it's a blue gray, a warm blue gray. All right, and as we get down here further, I'll add a little ultramarine blue, making it darker. Painting now, and let's put all of this work to work. Well, let's see what we can do here. Let's put it all together. Work into work, you know. All right. I'm going to clean this brush. I'm using now a number 4. Let's go back to some of the pure white. The sunlight is very pale in this painting. It wouldn't carry much color at all. So we'll go back to this pure white and make sure, and let's determine the sunlight is coming from this direction or more or less straight down. Yeah, I like it coming straight down. So we'll just tick the tops of some of these clouds, interior tops, to give a little variation. There we go. A little tick up here on the headland. I don't really like the color of that headland, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to bring in some ultramarine blue into white. There we go. It's a little too gray for me. I like to keep that blue feeling in this particular painting. A little bit more here. I'll make this a little bit darker right here because I want some contrast. And I don't want to lose that misty effect, so that's probably enough. And now I'll just scrub it out. A clean brush. There we go. That works. Same thing back in here. And while I'm at it, let's just put another rock or two way out here. Good. We'll leave that.